I agree. If you want things to last, you got to maintain them. It's just the way it is, man. So I'm still working on the 2004 Chevy truck. Got the front suspension mostly together. Been working on the sway bar today. So bought a universal fit sway bar, built some mounts for it, had to trim it down a little bit, and pretty much had to remake the design of it myself, but having the components there was really good to have. So got it mounted, got the links figured out now. I just got to weld them and then weld everything up. Aside from that, we're getting close to putting this thing on its feet. Camptown racetrack, 5 miles long. Oh, dude, our day. Well, I screwed up and lifted it. I thought it was going to be low. Apparently not. The rear is all together. We're waiting on sheet metal parts now. Shocks are in. I'm waiting for a new set of shocks for the front. I got the mounts made, and so yeah, that's what I did yesterday. I made the shock mounts in here. So after getting everything figured up where it would sit, I needed a little bit different travel of shock than what we had originally figured. So he's going ride tech on all 4 corners, so nice adjustable shocks. It should make the truck ride really nice.
It's not a rat. What is it? It's a fluffer. It's Jason's fluffer.
It looks like you.
Did you get that?
But it looks like you with that gray.
Sort of. Yeah. You're gray as fuck. You just bald, dude.
I've built a lot of inner fenders before, but I've never used these particular ones. Yeah, these are the ones that Phx Customs made. They make these, they sell them on their website. You know, they prefab the main part, and then you gotta set them in place to where you need them. The problem is when it comes to this kind of stuff, there's not a one-size-fit-all kind of situation. You know, because if you're running 24s or 26s, you're gonna cut a lot more out than if you're running 22s like we are.
You keeping them full height just until you touch down?
Turn them down a little bit, get them under the bed rail.
So the car came to us as a stock SS.
Okay.
I think it had aftermarket wheels on it, but they weren't a crazy setup. It came to us the first time at the old shop just down the street. James and Jason measured for wheels and tires on it. We got those on order and then ordered all his suspension. When all that came in, he brought it back here. I busted out the suspension, the brakes, the wheels and tires on it. That was when he decided that he wanted to do the LS swap. So we're still plugging away on the LS swap Chevelle here. Since you guys have seen it last, the Magnuson blower is on, all sealed up. So I started running all the plumbing for that. Got the heat exchanger, all the coolant lines and everything, the pump, reservoir mounted for it. Went ahead and finished up some of our engine bay side, some wiring that we had to do for the electric fans. Got the dashes all thrown in, the gauges are on, just finished up getting the new hydraulic clutch assembly installed. Converted that from regular linkage to hydraulic for the new T56. We got a quick little intake fabbed up for it, well mocked up. All the heater lines for the AC are done. Yeah, there's all sorts of stuff. There's all sorts of stuff. Rotating assembly is good to go. All of the accessory drive is bolted up, finalized, got our belts on there. So we're at the point now with the build where it's kind of that last little 20% of it that takes a lot of the time, but we're in the home stretch of it. So not too much more before we should be able to kind of give it a full systems check, get it going for its first startup. So lots of work in this one.
You know, you guys got to take better care of your equipment. Edgar, I don't want to hear about your lack of maintenance being the problem.
This is 4 years old.
Yeah, and not been maintained once. When's the last time you did an oil change on that thing?
About a week ago.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, look.
Yeah, there you go, see? So 4 years, no oil change, and you want it to be its fault. Edgar, if you want things to last, you gotta maintain them. It's just the way it is, man.
All right, so I just finished getting all of the stainless steel hardline portion of the fuel lines done for the Chevelle. So everything, all the hard lines that we do, whether it's for air or for fuel, starts in a roll like this. Since this is for fuel, we're using some 3/8 stainless. Some of the smaller stuff, air, whatever, we can use quarter, go down, whatever. But so the main bulk of the fuel line from the firewall right about back to the axle is all going to be stainless, just so you don't have to worry about any soft line. So my hard lines, I guess you could say start or finish, but either one, I've got them right here at the firewall where I'll convert to soft line. So we'll come up through into some push lock over the trans and up to that. All right, here is the stainless steel hard line. So our upper line is our supply coming from the tank, inline fuel filter from Aeromotive, and then this lower section is our return coming back from the fuel pressure regulator back down across. Comes up through here, and then they terminate here into push lock into the soft line that goes up, over, and back into our tank. I had the supply line already done, and this one's got, I'd say it's a little bit trickier. It follows the same shape, but obviously I had to put 2 little step outs in it to get into the filter. But with this one, I think I started with my front piece and started up here, and so I just put my long tube in and just kind of started mark by mark, getting it to where I need to and laying it up in there. The more you do the bends, you can kind of eyeball where the bend needs to start. You just kind of sit up in there and go bit by bit, yeah, until your line goes in. So the trip is like with this, having to come through here and having to come over the trans cross member, and then even through here where I come up over the link mount and between the body, the trick is like you can't add too much bend or make the line long enough that you can't get it back in. And I try and kind of make the line like each bend, I'll put it in exactly where it has to go and make sure that it still clears. And then once I'm past there, you're pretty all right. But like once I had to put this big swooping bend in there, you've got this crazy like windmill turn. They all fit, they'll come out, they're serviceable. So anything like this, you've got to keep like all this stuff through here, you want to try and keep flat. But once you have to start adding rotation into it, you've got to make sure that you're marking them, because it adds twist to that tube. With aluminum tubing, you can kind of tweak it a little bit. The stainless tube gets a little harder, but it's not, it's less abrasion resistant and stuff than the fuel line is. So, you're throwing stuff up under the car. You're not throwing rocks at a rubber or a nylon line. You don't have to worry about, like if you run E85, if you ever wants to go to a flex fuel, an ethanol content fuel, you can't run certain lines. You have to run ones with a certain chemical makeup on the inside. Otherwise, the ethanol in the E85 will break it down, and you'll end up with all sorts of issues. Yeah, like when the alcohol content is too high, it makes the like O-rings and stuff swell, and if you don't have PTFE coated lines, it just starts eating away at the inside of the line and gums them up. If with a stainless hard line, obviously you can run whatever you want through it. It's not going to eat it down, but I don't think he's going to run E85 on it. So he'll be fine on pump. He'll be fine with the lines.
The next day.
On Friday we finished up, I fished up under the hood, got the intake in, a couple little details that were waiting under the hood. So that's all finished. Started tacking the tubs in place and the doghouse. So today I'm just finishing up the welding of that. You start seam sealing all the seams up and get it over to bed lining. The whole bed is going to get bed lined after this. So yeah, once we get it all sealed up and everything and ready to go, it's actually going to go, once the truck is on its feet again, it's going to go over, get bed liner, get sealed up and look real nice and brand new.
Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to another segment of Know About It.
Are you looking to upgrade from your, fuck me, I'm already doing it. Bleh. If you guys are looking to upgrade from your standard Beltec Street Performance struts, I got just the thing for you. Beltec offers these direct strut replacement coilovers. They are offered in a couple different levels. They have the standard coilover direct strut replacement, comes with your spanner wrench to get the adjustable height. They also offer it in the SP Plus that is going to have your 18 clicks of dampening adjustments. The SP Performance coilovers do come paired with a standard Street Performance shock for the rear, and the SP Plus coilover kits come paired with a adjustable dampening rear shock. If you're looking for a sportier truck setup, this is definitely the way to go. They offer these in a full lowering kit as well as just the coilovers. If you have any questions, feel free to contact us if something's applicable to your vehicle. There's my sign off.
We're just buttoning up the underside of the Chevelle today. Just a couple of things under there. Jason's dying. So I got the radiator overflow installed this morning. You can kind of see it peeking up there. Got its line routed. Got a couple of the heat hose clamps that we had down there heated up and shrunk down. Putting his front splitter back on, and then I'm just gonna go through and do a bolt check on the bottom half of the car and cross check everything. Just since Brad's here, he's working under the car. We've got an axle back, full TIG welded stainless exhaust that Brad from Brad Built came out and did. So he'll come back when the swap's all done, and he'll match up his rear section, his axle back to the long tube headers. So he'll probably throw us in an X pipe. He should have room if he can do something tight. This is the suspension at full droop, so this is the lowest that the drive shaft will go. If we can keep an X in here nice and tight and have it come back out before we hit the drive shaft, we should be fine. Yeah, no, it'll look really good. We dropped the headers down from 3 to 2.5. That'll give us a little bit more clearance. We can do it since we're running dual. We don't need to stay 3-inch the whole way. He'll have tubes in here in just a minute. That's what he was doing right now. He's gonna add just some little flex joints in there to isolate the movement from the motor from the rest of it. So he'll probably go right after that drop into those. And then just a set of Borla 2.5-inch offset mufflers. Yeah, Borlas are really nice. They're a full stainless muffler too. They're all TIG welded, I believe. So rather than having to weld something off the muffler, it's got a bolt-on bracket on the back side of it that bolts on and goes up to an exhaust clamp. So yeah, you figure out where you want to bolt it, and that's the muffler side of it done. It's a nice stainless plate with TIG welds on it too. That's what we've ran on anything that gets a stainless, like a nice performance exhaust. Yeah, no, it should be really cool. It should sound fucking mean.
You don't want the sound attenuation to be off. I'm just telling you, this is what you're supposed to do. So,
you know what? Maybe I'll just cut this bracket off right here. I'll weld it on the other side.
And then the sound attenuation will be compromised. I don't know what that means, but that is a really big word.
Attenuation.
Sound attenuation.
If you would have paid attenuation in school. Yeah, so pretty much we centered the X pipe. This is our center line, right down the center, runs through the weld, lined it all up, and then I took a measurement from pretty much the two inside pieces of the pipes on the headers on the car, 18.5 or whatever, mark that out on the table straight out. So I want to build on the outside, pretty much right in the center. Yeah, from that line right against that line outwards on each side, you know? So I have a little bit more grinding to do on that one. This one's pretty damn close right there. I'm probably gonna end up having to, because I have to put a piece in there, and I don't usually like just putting a little band-aid piece, so I'll probably cut them back to like right here.
What's the matter, dude?
Nothing, I'm tripping.
So I started this morning putting, going and getting fluids and then starting to put fluids in it. Brad showed up, so he's gonna finish out his portion of the exhaust. He got his X pipe done and welded the other day. So he's gonna finalize the reducers today on the headers and then finish the X pipe.
Come on, bitch.
Back through the mufflers and then into his the tail sections that he already built. We just got those thrown back in, so. Once he's done with all that, I'll drop it down, finish putting fluids in it, and then hopefully be able to fire it up by the end of the day, as long as it's got exhaust.
I really can't complain that sometimes the welder life kind of sucks in the summertime, but I can't complain because there's a lot of people in a lot worse conditions than me and not building nearly as cool as shit. So at least I get to build something cool at the end of the day. I don't have to be like, hey, look at those stairs I built. Yeah. I have friends that do like pipe fitting and stuff like that, and hey, they make better money than me. Yeah, they don't even get to show off their work most of the time because it gets buried underground. I mean, I've got a pretty. I really can't complain that much. I can, but it doesn't do much.
The doghouse is so much smaller than I thought it was going to be.
Well, it's for my dog. I mean, my dogs are Chihuahuas,
Yeah,
and the doghouse doesn't even have to be that big.
Yeah, it's not like a gunner doghouse.
I actually buy cat houses for my dogs.
Do you really?
Yeah, well, they like
cheaper?
No, they like the little ball in there that they can play with, and they're furrier usually. They're usually softer and fluffier. My dogs are princesses, and you better recognize.
Yeah, they are. My dog's an asshole.
I have one of those too, but she's still a princess. She's just an asshole princess. This thing should be pretty much ready to do a few test drives in, see if anything needs adjusted. Get it aligned and get it out of here. Seems like it's got no gas.
I'll pump some more fuel in her. I know what's wrong with it.
You're doing good. It ain't got no gas in it.
All right, so Monday morning, Brad came in on Friday and got the exhaust all finished up. We got our reducers out of the headers into flex pipes. our X-pipe, and then back to our Borla S-type mufflers. Did a nice little jog up here to keep everything nice and as high to the floor as he could. And then back from the mufflers into the axle back sections that he had already done. Looks like he had to modify them a little bit, just where the mufflers and where those lived didn't quite line up. So he moved our V-band back on that. Nice stainless hangers everywhere. It should sound pretty good. We got a test fire of the car on Friday with just the, I think it was just the X-pipe we might have had mufflers on. I don't know, it was after hours on Friday. I was tired, I was ready to go.
Seems like it's got no gas.
But either way, we got it fired up. It ran, it sounded pretty good, made a lot of noise. Had a couple little leaks, so I came in this morning, traced down those leaks, got those all fixed, fingers crossed, fixed. And we're gonna drop it down here again now that the exhaust is fully done out the back. Pretty much every car is the same for me. I mean, there's tight spaces. There's, like on the truck, there was spaces where it was 3 1/4 to get through, and I had to get through with 3-inch, you know what I mean? Kind of basic. I didn't have to put any O2s or nothing on it. All the O2s are up there for tuning and whatnot, but it's all stainless, V-band clamps, bellow flexes, 2.5-inch 304 stainless. It's getting there. Nothing was too far out of the ordinary with it. I had to do a little bit of clearancing for some parts. You know, it's a direct swap, but it's as bolt-on as it can be. So I had to do some notches in the cross member for the headers to fit. They're headers made for this swap and those motor mounts, but sometimes it's just the way that the cards end up. So, but nothing real crazy. We got a new drive shaft made from Arizona Drive Shaft. Yeah, so I swapped the whole trans tunnel. Had to build and fabricate a new tunnel to clear the T56. So all that center section is all new. And it's a little bit wider and a little bit taller. So the factory console, it'll sit in the same location, but just because it's wider, I'll have to do a little bit of just trimming around it to get it to fit around the new one. So really what we needed a little bit of extra width about the center and just a little bit of extra height for the T56. So the 4-speed that came out of it's a decent, it's not a huge transmission, but it's pretty low profile. So a little bit of cutting to get the T56 to fit. If we had gone with like a 4L80 or a 6L80, like a standard automatic trans, it'd be real small. Like we probably could have gone away with just doing some small clearancing and patching a hole. But the T56 is like the most involved swap into this with the LSs. So it'll be fun. The car was manual when it came in. So it was a big block 4-speed car. So now he's, not a big block, but he's got a hell of a lot more power than he did before, and he'll still have the fun from driving the manual around, getting to kick the clutch, so it should be a good time. So they put like sound deadening all down under the carpet, did the full carpet for it, made them all new floor mats. They fit the console for us. Nice. Yeah, it looks super good. Unique did a super good job. They did it in less than a week too, so that was cool. Yeah, they did it custom molded to the tunnel that I built, and then all adhered down. So super nice. Should cut down the volume in here quite a bit.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, it backfires really good on D-cell. We got it dynoed at Cortez Performance. Okay, sweet. So Nick over there did that. So I wasn't there, Seth took it, but it seems like it did quite well. There wasn't too many issues. Nick threw it on the dyno. I'm not sure how many pulls they did, but our final number was 560.
fuck you and I'll see you tomorrow.